to Love After Divorce. My name is Nicole, and I will be your host on this journey. Before we begin our discussion, let me share a little bit about myself. I'm currently married to my amazing husband, Richard. He's also the cameraman and everything else that I need him to do in the house. And before my marriage presently, I was married before in the past, and it was a relationship that we were dating each other for maybe 13 years, I believe. Yes, 13 years. And it was a long time. And I'd had one child during the relationship of my first marriage. And after he was born, I guess, is when we just decided, well, what the hell? We'll just go ahead and get married. So we got married, and within the first 2 years, things started to go wrong, which is so strange because after being with somebody for 13 years, who would have thought that 2 years into marriage to the same person that things could start going so drastically wrong? There were multiple factors, but I don't want to elaborate and go into it too much, but things just started going wrong. And there was, I got pregnant again for that first husband. So we had 2 children. And it was because of infidelity, not on my part. And so I ended the marriage. Before I did, however, before I found out all of what was going on, we had decided that it would just make more sense if I stayed home with our children. This is while I was pregnant with the second child. And I had gone back to work after the first, and so I left work. I wasn't feeling very good. This second pregnancy took a toll on me. And so I left work, and so I was at home. And when I found out about the infidelity, I tried to work through it because you just don't quit on your marriage. I'm sure a lot of you out there can relate. And so I tried to give my first husband a chance to fix it. However, things progressively got worse because he started taking the person he was seeing around people that I also knew. And a lot of people, I was getting a lot of phone calls from family and friends questioning me, what's going on? Who is this person? Why is, my first husband at the time, because we were not divorced yet, bringing this person around, introducing her as his girlfriend? What's going on? That I kept getting those questions. At that point, there was no point. I couldn't save face if it was just a momentary thing or a lapse in judgment. But this was a full-blown relationship. So at this point, I just decided it would be best if we ended the marriage. So I ended the marriage. I was still pregnant. I thought maybe at first I was just having maybe baby blues. And so I didn't want to, but after a while, there was no point in remaining in a relationship that was going nowhere. So I filed for a divorce and we ended the marriage. Anyway, I do remember while going through the process, because as I said, I left my job, and so I had no benefits as far as medical benefits to go seek employee assistance to get a therapist to talk to. And I remember the lonely feeling that I felt because I'm pregnant. I have another baby to take care of, and he was still very young. He was maybe 4.5, 5 at the time, the oldest boy. And I'm going through all this and also carrying a child. And I have to save face for my son because I couldn't bottle up and cry when my son needed me the most. I had to explain to him why daddy was no longer there. Anyway, I said I wasn't going to cry, and I'm not. I'm over it, really, I am. And so, I couldn't see a therapist because I didn't have the money. And so I remember going online and I would Google, and I went to YouTube and I was searching, what do you do after you get a divorce? Where do you start? How do you put yourself back out there again? I remember going through this and I just was not getting the answers that I needed. I talked to my friends so much. I think at this point, I was probably driving them crazy. Anyway, I've gone through the process. It's years ago now. I met my amazing husband, as I said, Richard. he knows the story, so it's not shocking for him. And at first, when I was getting back out there, it was crazy, some of the things. And I said that women were going through, and I said, is this what's out there? I'm not sure I want to do this. And it was so much of a coincidence how I met him. I wasn't searching, but it just happened. That's the best way I can put it. It just happened. Maybe I'll give you the story of it. It was around art. I was on Instagram and I love abstract art, and he had posted some pictures on his page, and I made a comment. I said, wow, these are amazing. Where did you get those? I thought they were actual prints that he had. And he answered, he said, well, they're actually not mine. I found them on a website, but the way he had taken them, the pictures of the pictures, I thought they were his. And so that was really the end of the commentary. I wasn't seeking anything. I don't know this person. I'm not an online dating type of person. So I just left it there. And I wasn't a big component or a user of social media per se, but I noticed there was a one or a check mark or something, or whatever it was that was on Instagram, and I pushed the button. And only to find out he had responded to me. He said, hey, I know you inquired about the picture, but my name's Richard, by the way. Nice to meet you. And that's where it started, on Instagram, of all places. Anyway, needless to say, we kept in contact daily, sometimes too much in the day. I'm at work talking to Richard via Instagram. And we hit it off. And asked me to marry him, and I said yes. And we've been married now, it's 3 years, and we have a little boy. So I have 3 kids, 3 boys. They're amazing. They all get along. He's a good stepdad, and I'm happy. I'm so happy. I don't want to ramble, but I thought I'd give you the backstory. So as I said, I remember looking for help because I didn't have the money to pay for a therapist where I could just blurt out all my problems on this therapist's lap and say, please help me, when I was going through the process. I'm in a much better place, but I thought if I needed that kind of help, then maybe someone else does. I'm not a therapist, never claimed to be, and this channel almost did not happen. I was speaking to a friend, and now daily she makes it her goal of sending me something each day saying, you need to follow through on this. She told me she was listening to Les Brown, the speaker, and Les Brown said, imagine if you were laying on your deathbed and all of your dreams, all of your goals that you ever wanted to do in life, but you never did. You never brought them to fruition. You never gave them breath. And they were sitting there or standing around your deathbed, you're dying, and they're looking at you with their angry face. Well, that stuck with me. And I've been talking to her about this, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I'm sure someone can use this that's probably going through or have gone through, and you just needed someone to talk to. And then I would shy away from it and go, nah, I'm not going to do it, or I'll do it next week. So I never got around to it. And then she finally said to me, you either do this or we're going to have some problems. And so I decided I'm going to do it. And so here I am making the first video, and I'm glad I did. Anyway, this is the first video. I'm going to end it here. And, if you like the channel, subscribe to it. If you like this particular show, hit a like. My name is Nicole again, and this will not be our last time that we speak. Leave a comment, reach out to me, tell me if you like what I'm doing. Anyway, guys, thanks. Bye.